another weekly reading we're going to be doing, and we're going to be using the Kipper deck. Hi, I'm Kathy, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's in the Cards Divination. Today, we're going to do a weekly reading, different. As you can see, there is a main male and a main female. So what I'm going to do is we're going to be using Kipper this time, and we're going to see what's coming for you this week in your line of sight. So if you identify or resonate as a female, go down in the description box below, and there will be 3 choices, pick a pile choices in the female area as to what your week is going to be like this week. As if you identify or resonate as a male gender, then you go down and the same thing. There will be 3 choices, pick a pile choices that you can make and listen to see how your week will be. And as I always say, don't make it fit. If it doesn't resonate, let it go. It has to sound like it could be your situation. All right, my dear friends, when you're ready, pause the video. For now, if you're interested in receiving more videos, please click on the subscribe button and the bell, and you'll be notified of upcoming videos. Click like and or comment. I'd love to hear if anything resonates for you. In the meantime, let's get started with your reading for this week. And this is a timeless reading, so it doesn't matter what week you're listening to. It means you're supposed to listen to this video and see what's coming. Okay, my dear friends, let's get started, and I'll see you in your readings. Friends, if you identify as a female, then this is your reading for this week. As you can see, I have 3 different piles to choose from. And we're going to look at each pile and see what was the main theme or advice or what you may be focused on this week. We're going to turn them over and you can choose from that card, the Oracle card. First pile is Ancestral Wisdom. Okay, it talks about being helped, of course. Let me just read it for you. We are your ancestors and we love you. We walked the earth many times before you. We ask you at this time to learn and grow from our past experiences. You are our legacy, and we will keep on helping you as we continue to evolve in the spirit world. So it's kind of like thinking about what, if you know anything about your ancestors, what can you gain? What wisdoms can you learn? Perhaps the good and the bad in this lifetime that you need to focus on. This is more about this week. So when you think about it that way on a shorter term, the ancestral wisdom would be more in keeping even with your culture, perhaps. What is important in your own life with your culture this week? Culture or ancestors. And ancestors can be aunts, uncles, great uncles. It's usually the older generation. Okay, what can you learn from them? The second focus this week is ground yourself. Ground yourself. And that just talks about being distracted, unfocused, tired, irritated, impatient are all signs that you're ungrounded. Now is the time to become centered, allow spirit to help you ground yourself and reconnect with divine source. Yeah, when we have that sort of feeling that everything is kind of all over the place, and that's the focus of the week for this card. It's telling you what you should be focused on. Finally, the third card is choice. Choice. It says, when you accept responsibility for your life and the choices you make, begin to tap into the power of your own spirit. You'll be able to listen to and appreciate the intuitive wisdom that's inside you. Apply it positively and constructively to your outside world. So this is the third choice of a pick-a-pile reading for you, my friends. Now we're going to do a Kipper reading based on these 3. So, as I mentioned, there will be another timestamp below for either one of these or all three if you want to listen to them, okay? Under the main female subject matter. Okay. So let's go get started with our ancestral wisdom. Let's just put these aside for now. Let's put this up here because now we're going to move her down. And what we're going to do, we'll be doing a 5-card. It's called the 5-card line of sight. As you can see, direction is very important in Kipper. She's facing to her left in this direction. So this is what she'll be looking at this week. And we'll do 5 cards. So the first one, though, is focused on ancestral wisdom this week. So let's just see what is coming for you, my friends. Okay, what is coming? Okay, the first card we have adjudication. So you're going to be getting help from someone this week, or you will be asking for help from someone in some way, some fashion. It could even be, I was going to say an ancestor. Ancestor, it could be an older family member even. Let's see what we have. Thief. Okay, so this is a connector card. What it tells me is this week there's something that is taken away from you. In fact, I'd say you were wanting some help this week, but it looks like it may not happen. Okay, or in fact, you may not even be able to talk to this person to get some mentoring, to get some ideas. A meeting you may have to have this week. It could be postponed. Let's see what happens on this side of this card. This is a connector card, and this is a card, they call it cause and effect. So in other words, this is what will be lost to you this week. And then, depending on what the card is, it's what's on this it's your plans, of course. That makes total sense, right? Your plans are going to be affected because you're not going to be able to meet up this week with someone, whether it is an actual formal process that you are going through in I don't want to say adjudication. For some people, it can refer to an actual court proceeding. People that go through a divorce or a child custody situation. But on a very ordinary basis, this could just be speaking about trying to figure out how to do something. Okay, but it is being taken away from you. But that doesn't mean it's not going to happen because this card is a positive card. It's not being taken away forever. So it's just a temporary situation. Okay, let me move these over because it's the 5 card. It goes a little further, right? Okay, let's see here. So we have a situation. 1, 2, 3. Oh, expectation. Okay. So your expectation, you had goals in mind for this week that you thought you could get done. It's not, you can still get them done, but you're not going to get the help you thought you would get this week with them. Okay. That's going to be postponed. It's going to be delayed. It'll be put forward another time. Of course, I feel very strongly. It could very well be in the way of help from our family members because it talks about the ancestral wisdom, of course. And one more card finally, we have the message. Usually this is good news. Okay, so towards the end of the week on this first ancestral wisdom choice, it looks to me that there is something you've been waiting for in a message, news, towards the end of the week. The message could be text, could be email, could be a phone call. But you're going to find out, it's all forms of communication. There's also something you've been waiting for, maybe even in the mail. And this could reflect, again, I'm going to move these over because now we're really moving into the 5th card. So you can see them all here, my friends. Hang on. There could be some bill you've been waiting for, and I don't want to say it wasn't stolen from you. It's not the bill that was stolen. The end of the week, you could be getting it. It's something that you expected earlier, Okay. I would say it's not really a bill. Because the reason I say that is this is a positive. So obviously a bill is not a positive thing to get, right? Um, it would be more likely good news in some fashion about what you've been hoping to get done, get accomplished. It has to do with your plans you've been making. You've perhaps been looking into a situation, doing some research on something. And for some people, I would go right into, and this is what I heard, for anybody doing genealogy, or trying to find out information about your past ancestors, this could be speaking to you. And that's quite specific, I know. But it does. It talks about how um, it is something. It's ancestral. It talks about some people, it could be maybe you've been waiting to hear there is a situation going on with an estate or a financial issue that you've been waiting to hear on. It looks like towards the end of the week, you will get information about it. Looks to be good news. We don't have another card on the end, so it's not 100%, but it's something that you've been waiting for a while, possibly 2, 3 months. You might have been waiting for it. And it's going to help you move forward to do something you've been wanting to do, um, put into action. And it had been taken away from you before. So I don't know exactly what it could be. It could be many things, but I feel because this is the center card from here, not the main female, it has to do with your plans. So it could even be plans. Maybe you've been wanting to take a vacation. And there's a trip in the works, and you've been making plans to do this, and you've been waiting to hear back about going. Maybe you're trying to make the arrangements. And this week, it looks like, as I say, towards the end of this week, whenever you're listening to this, that's when you're going to get the news about it. Okay. So, my dear friends, this is just a very general reading, as you can tell. But as I said, it has something to do with family, past family members. When I say past, grandparents, great aunts and uncles, family that we're not usually as close to. And often that could be, as I mentioned, about doing our family history, trying to find out information. For some people, it could be as simple as perhaps finding out our genetics with medical information or, anything like that. The family traits, what do we need to do? But on a very basic level, there are plans that you'd hope to put into place this week. It's not happening. The plans are being sort of stalled. You've been told that it might take a few months before these plans come into place. But then, lo and behold, by the end of the week, you might be able to hear something. Okay, my dears, that was Ancestral Wisdom. And that is your reading for this week. Now we're going to look at the next one. Your next choice. Let me just find it for you. We have them here. Here we go. It's called Ground Yourself. It's about when we're irritated and unfocused and distracted and tired. Well, that's not a great thing you want to see for the week ahead, do you? Okay, so we will put this up here. And let's get started with the main female here. What is coming for the ground yourself people this week, the female? What is coming? What can they expect? What's in your line of sight, right? Because that's what she's looking at. And for the ones who pick the male energy or gender, then that will be the opposite direction. We will have him over here because he's looking this way. Like I say, it's very directional, and that is the future they talk about in Kipper. Okay, let's see. What is this week going to be like for this particular how to on the ground yourself? First card we have is the marriage card. Oops, hang on. I'm not doing this very well. There, you can see that a little better. All right, so let's put this down here. And I'm going to pull another card to see if it pertains to marriage. It can pertain to a marriage, an actual marriage, toil and labor. Hmm. And third card is distant horizons. Talks about our hopes and dreams, things that we hope for. Also talks about distant places, far away maybe. Okay. All right, let's go here. Then we have a gift. Oh, nice. There we go. And finally, we have privileged lady card. Okay. So the middle card is usually the main theme, as well as it's around grounding yourself, is about distant horizons, your hopes and dreams, and what you hope to get this week or what you hope to get done, how things are going to go for you. For as far as a marriage card is concerned, a marriage is usually the state of a marriage. That's what this card is usually, how things are going, right? Or a partnership or a commitment or an agreement you've made. So for some of you, this could actually be referring to your actual marriage or your partner that you're with. And the state of it, well, looks like it's same old this week for you. In other words, nothing much exciting going on. It's just the way it usually is. For those of you, there could be, for some of you, this is about even a part-time job commitment or a job commitment. Not a job as in a career job, more of a, where it says toil and labor. It's the things that we do automatically and that are more routine. It's not as creative, in other words. This could be like a job, any type of job where you, let's use housework as an example, okay? Because that's a good example of the type of toil and labor it talks about. It's something we do all the time. We know how to do it. It's easy. But there's really no fulfillment in it, right? Okay, so that's what it tells me. There could be a proposition here for you the beginning of the week or a commitment of some kind. There's also commitment for a lot of you, just the getting things done around the house. Again, housework. This is all about doing those tasks beginning of the week that we often leave, we procrastinate on, we don't want to do them. So I feel like there's a real commitment here. For those of you in a relationship, it might be the male spouse who is more committed to getting it done this week. Maybe there's things around the inside of your home or whatever that needs doing. So they're looking at getting that done for you. For those of you who are looking at a new job situation, there's something coming potentially from far away. Okay, it could be for some of you. There could be a situation that is not close by for you in terms of work. It's a work situation. And this has to do with an offer. It looks like you will towards the end of the week. It's like you've committed to it here, you're waiting to hear. And by the end of the week, the offer could be presented to you in the way of a gift, okay? As you can see. And this gift is going to help give you the lifestyle potentially that you've been looking for some of you. The other option is it could be a younger person that's going to be offering it to you. When I say younger female, even, but a younger person who would be a generation younger than you know, more or less speaking, is the privileged lady. Okay, for some, this isn't an easy one. The week starts off rather a humdrum way, getting things done, not really enjoying yourself. It's just those kind of doing the same old. Okay, but towards the end of the week, things start picking up. For some of you, you may even be celebrating a birthday by going out with friends and having a lot of good times, drinks, and fun, because it speaks about maybe taking this out and going on socializing, birthday party, as you can see by the gift. There's also, and the gift could be even maybe you're going to this girl's birthday party, this younger girl. So for some of you, that's pretty specific, I know. This young person is definitely a person who is focused, the main focus here towards the end of the week for most of you. It could even be that she's giving you a gift because she's looking towards the gift and she's handing it to you. Maybe it's a gift. Maybe if you're fortunate enough, maybe she's offering, let's go on a trip. Let's go on a vacation. Not to say she's paying for it necessarily, but the idea of it, the offer. Well, what do you think about this? Should we maybe take a trip somewhere far away this winter, maybe somewhere hot, whatever? So this is sort of how the week is going. It starts off, as kind of, that same old where nothing interesting is going on, and you're feeling, this is what it talks about, ground yourself. You're feeling distracted, unfocused, same old, same old. But by the end of the week, if you're able to ground yourself and focus your energy, it looks like they're telling you things are going to pick up this week. I'd love to hear how this goes for any of you because it looks like it could be quite exciting and much better than the beginning of the week, my friends. All right. So that is the reading for the ground yourself, people. And finally, we're going to do the last reading under the female heading, and it's going to be focused on choices. Oh, hang on, I'll just turn this way so you can see it, choices. Now, we know what that means. It's our choices in life that will often um, indicate or how things go during the week, during our life, whatever the case is. We choose to do one thing or maybe choose not to. It can affect the rest, right? In any way. Let's see, my dear, what is happening this week for you guys. Let's see. All right. Weekly. What does choices pile and what can they expect to go this week? Let's see. Okay, the first card is Great Fortune. Love it. Blessings, good things happening. Poverty. Of course, then it has to be, following by the poverty. So, in other words, the blessings aren't as good as what you would call this week. All right. And we have the Lover's card. Love of all kinds. And false person. Okay. And finally, mature woman. Okay. So let's see what we've got going on here, my dears. So the start of the week looks pretty good, more or less. It starts off pretty good, anyways. You're thinking you've got the world going for you, things are good. Maybe you started the day off right, things were going well. But it looks like there's an issue here, and it can be money. It can also be anything where there's a lack of something, okay? A lack of blessings, a lack of good fortune, a lack of, there's a lack here. There's a less than quality to what you have. And it feels like it could be related to a person you care very much about, someone you love deeply. It doesn't have to be a spouse, even though it talks about the lovers. It can be a family member, it could be any. And there's been something wrong here with a mature woman. A mature woman could be a mother, a grandmother, could be any lady older, at least a generation older than you in your life. Could be a relative, could be a friend. There's a problem with her. The fact I feel very strongly like she's not providing you with the care you want. This can also be a mother-in-law too. So if you're in a situation where there's a difficult mother figure, she can be interfering. She gets in the way this week. There is an issue with her. It may not be a big issue necessarily, but it's definitely has to do with your feelings towards her as to how you feel about her. And it's going to affect her. That's what it is about. It's about your feelings of caring and love And it feels to me, obviously this is a choice situation. It talks about choice. So it's possible maybe you're just not spending as much time with this person this week. They feel like they're not getting enough attention, or this older person maybe, and they're difficult, they're cranky, they're acting up. There's a definite problem with this woman towards the end of the week. It might affect the whole week because the energy is around this, the poverty. And that could just be as simple as you just aren't able to spend time with them this week. I, you know what? I said this was the energy. This is the negative. These are the negative energy, but this is the actual energy this week. It's about caring, love, happy feelings, okay? That doesn't mean they'll be there. I feel like there's this lack of it. It's towards this, either towards this woman, or you're not, as I say, spending enough time with this woman. It's a choice. Perhaps you need to take a breath and make a choice whether or not this person is deserving of your feelings for them. Maybe things are dysfunctional and it's been so difficult you can't deal with them. Okay, fair enough. Or if it's a situation that maybe you're just too busy and life gets in the way, you may need to spend more time focusing on them. I feel like they're acting up though because they're not getting the attention they want. That's what I'm feeling in some way. Um, so it's going to cause some problems this week for you. Okay. For those of you, if it's a financial issue, I'm feeling obviously poverty is, you're not poor this week, but I feel like you're not going to have as much money as you'd hoped, or things aren't just going to go as well as you'd hoped this week. At the beginning, especially of the week, it starts off really good, but then it starts going. And the poverty card um, is more about what's missing. It's the lack, right? And it could be financial, but it feels more emotional because of the lovers, okay? There's a situation where two people care about each other, or maybe there's something you're passionate about that you want to do, and you're not able to do it this week. Okay, like if there's a hobby or something that you really enjoy, maybe a club or something, it's just whatever it is, you're not able to do it this week. This person, there's a problem here with this woman. She's not allowing it for whatever reason. We can't see what's on the other side here. So she's the one that's instrumental in causing this difficulty, and it's going to affect her as well as you. So I feel like there is a choice here that somebody has to make this week in order for things to maybe improve or be not as bad as we thought. Like I say, things start out really good, and then I feel like it could go south towards the end of the week. Now, the main energy, as I spoke, is around the Lover's card. It is about your caring feelings. And again, we all have choices that we can make, right? So, my dears, I hope you enjoyed this reading. We're going to wrap it up for this week. I'd love to hear how your week goes. Drop me a comment and let's see are how are things going to be? How are they playing out for you this week? Would love to hear. Okay, you take care, and I look forward to seeing you in my next reading. Bye for now. Hi, my main males. If you identify or resonate with the main male energy or gender, then this is your pick a pile choice reading. I have 3 oracle cards here, as you can see, and each one is going to have a timestamp below, and this is where you can choose your own pile under the male energy to see how your week's going to go this week. Well, let's see. Okay. First is joy. Joy card. Lovely card. What can you say? I'm not going to say anything. It's perfect, right? Everybody wants joy. Have confidence. That is this card pile. And we have here, reward yourself. Oh, I like that too. Okay, so I'm going to have obviously, three separate readings. for you, and they will be in the timestamps in the description box below. So what you can do, you can pause this video, go to your reading in the timestamp, and if this resonates with, if it doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. You can go to any of the others. You can listen to all three if you choose. That's your choice. Okay, my friends, let's get started reading for this week. And we're going to start with joy. All right, so let's move joy up here. In other words, it says, joy is the highest energy of all. It's the magical sense that everything's possible. Joy allows you to attract and create your present and future moments at the highest possible levels. Okay, it's hard to maintain that, right? We all know. Now, the main male goes at this end of the table because he is looking to his right in the direction going forward. And I know it's a little glary on the end there. I apologize. Okay. We're going to be looking, this is his line of sight for the week going this way. And we'll pull 5 cards for him for joy. And let's see what kind of week you can expect this week under the heading joy. All right, let's see here. The first card we have, thoughts. The beginning of the week, you've got plans you've been working on, things you want to do. Maybe there's some things you're looking into at the beginning of this week. We now have a gift card. The gift, there's an offer of some kind. Let us see. We have now the house. House card. All right, let's get it going here. The lovers. And finally, the false person. Okay. Right, let us get started reading this for the week. There is what it focuses, what the main focus in this reading is around your home, your family, your loved ones. It could be around your physical home. It could just be around what gives you comfort, what makes you feel safe, protected. Those are the energies around this week for this reading. What gives you comfort? So, on a bigger level, it's possible somebody is buying a house this week or getting an apartment, or there's an offer here of this. Now, that's very specific, so it doesn't apply to many, I would say. But what it tells me is here, um, if that's the case, it shows the beginning at the end of the week that it's not necessarily, there's something wrong here with this situation with the house that changes how you feel about it. Okay, so it doesn't say whether you will necessarily go through with this if it is an apartment or a place to live that you're looking at, but it does show there's an issue towards the end of the week for some of you. So, going on a more general basis, we have your plans that you've been looking at. You want to provide those ideas and those plans. And it could be to your family members. Maybe there's been something that you've been working on. Um, it could even be direct plans about your environment at home, as far as maybe you're doing some renos. Maybe there's something you want to change this week you're looking at. And it can be on a very basic level. It doesn't have to be a big thing. For some of you, you've got plans to go to a party this week, some kind of celebration maybe, or go out with friends, something you love. But towards the end of the week, it's possible it may not happen. I feel like it may happen, but things change that you aren't happy about it, whether it's maybe it's not exactly to your liking, who's coming, where it is, what's going on. There's some issue with it. Something is not as it seems, in other words, okay? Now that's towards the end of the week. There could also be feelings of, for some of you, you may have been literally gifted something that provides your home with security. There could be, I want to say gifted, but you could be offered what I'm talking very specifically, an alarm situation, what keeps you safe, this week, maybe there's something you're putting in this week and by the time you do it, I feel like there's something that doesn't go right with it. Okay. Again, it ends the week on a negative note, so we can't see what's on the other side of this card. This is what they call a cause and effect card. We don't know what exactly the cause of this situation is, except we know it affects how you feel about your home, your security, even your family, or a location. Okay, so that's more or less what's happening this week. It talks about very much at the beginning of the week, things are really looking up. It's a good scenario. You're in good spirits. You feel like things are going well. Um, you're finally able to take your plans and move forward. Okay. Even for some people, again, it could be like putting something up for sale. Maybe your home, maybe you've been looking into the idea of it and you want to put in the idea of doing that. Now, it doesn't show another person this week, so I can't say for sure, but there is something about this. I feel like for those of you, if it's about your home, for example, you really love this place. You're really happy there. You're content. You don't want any problems. But again, there's something that's causing you to not be happy with this situation. There's something else that's going on. And as you say, we don't know yet because it's on the other side of this card here. The gift is I feel like it's the gift itself for the home is something that will make the home better. It will be an actual improvement, something there's also a sense of give and take here, I want to say. For some of you, you may have to adjust your plans this week. It may not be, there might be some compromise here. The things necessarily aren't going to go the way you'd hope to. Unfortunately, why does it have to end on a negative note, right? It may not be a big thing because the rest of the cards are positive this week. So I feel like the week overall is a good energy for you. It's just towards the end of the week, there's something that is not quite working out for you. And it has to do with your feelings. It has to do with how you feel about something, what you're passionate about, or how you love something you love. Okay. I don't feel it's a actual person per se. I feel like it's the house. It's representative of the home. And it can also, for those who are working, this is working from home. There could be an offer coming for you this week um, that, for simple, some of you could just be able to work at home. It could be a simple thing like that. It's like, okay, you've made plans to do something else, but now they're saying, okay, you can stay at home and work and you love it, but then it causes some kind of issues towards the end of the week. Okay. So my dear joy people, it does look like a good week. I will end that overall. But again, there just seems to be something at the end of the week that affects how you feel about the situation. We don't know what the cause is. Is it a person? Is it a situation? Other than we know it has to do with how you feel and your comfort level, or how you feel about your home, even, or where you live, the building. It could be even the building. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next reading for this week. And we're going to move forward on this to have confidence. Okay. Moving forward does not necessarily require you to have confidence in yourself. Confidence in God is enough, along with knowing that God works through you and with all ways. Lean upon us if your confidence wavers, and we will buoy your courage and faith. So obviously it's a spiritual card, right? Lean on the angels, your guides. Okay. Now, let's see what the week has for my dear friends that have chosen card Have Confidence. All right, let's just see here. This is good. Really good shuffle, eh? All right. Let's see. What is this week hold? Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. The first card is Community. Okay. Community. Privileged Lady. And let's go to the next one. Family Room. And Pathway. And finally, High Honors. Ooh, that's good. Okay. So this week starts off in the community card, which means there is someone, a younger woman potentially, who in the community who is going to provide you, I would say, it most of the this reading, it appears to be more about work or your career. Okay. I feel like it, not necessarily. This could also be a love situation or a friend who's younger. For the men here, that there's someone in your close group, whether you work with this person or they are part of your friend group, they are important this week. In fact, the energy around them is more the focus for you this week. Um, I feel like it's also about having a good time this week too. For those of you, okay, let me back up because I'm moving on to another subject. Let's deal with the work situation first, okay? So career and somebody that you is in the corporate or in the where you work, they're part of the employees, maybe a coworker younger than you, um, is just trying to see what she's doing because this is a positive reading so far. Okay, there are no negative cards here this week for this particular reading, which is awesome. There is something that you've been waiting to hear about, whether it's been a long time coming, um, that you feel is due to you. I feel like for some of you, it's whether it's a raise or an award or some kind of talks about high honors, and that's something that you will be recognized with. Okay, towards the end of the week, I feel like it's going to take a while. Maybe there's something that you've been waiting to hear about, this week, for instance, and this woman is instrumental in getting this information to you, okay? Uh, for on a personal level, not work-wise, I would say this woman, and she could be a friend, she doesn't have to be a romantic interest. She There's been a long time that you've seen her in high esteem. You've seen her as somebody you really care about and somebody who you respect and value. She makes you feel comfortable. Um, and you just want to spend time with this person this week. It's honestly what this is. This week, it feels like this person is very important this week in your life. She doesn't have to be necessarily really young. There's also feeling that you need to get out and have a good time in the community. And that's possibly what's going to happen. There could be a house party somewhere you go to that you enjoy. Maybe it's something that you haven't done for a long time. And by the end of the week, you feel very glad you did it or you went. There's this feeling that people saw you and they were like, "Oh, I'm so glad you came," and "Oh, good, good for you." It could just be as simple, even this week, of going to visit this woman in her home. enjoying time together, whether it's on a romantic level or a friendship level. There's a feeling of intimacy as well. So it could be a romantic level. Maybe it's you are friends, but maybe you're wanting to take it to the next level. There's somebody you've been wanting to spend time with, perhaps on a romantic situation, because I feel like this person, if you're comfortable with them, and you have been for a long time, and you have all the good feelings for them, the respect, the esteem, but you've kept it in the friend zone maybe, and now you're kind of wanting to move it forward for some of you. It talks about have confidence. So there is that aspect that maybe this is something you want to take a chance on, maybe. I don't know for sure how you feel, but even if it isn't about changing the relationship, because it doesn't talk about change here, it talks about things being the same this week with this person, but it's somebody that you're very comfortable with, you are close to, and when I say intimate, it doesn't necessarily mean romantic. It could just be someone that you're very familiar with, you've known for a long time. It can even be a sibling. Be referring to just spending time with a sister who you really care about and you hold in high regard. Okay. So this week is about get out and do those things. Get out in the community, have fun, do the things that you really enjoy, and maybe it's been a long time coming. You haven't had that opportunity, as we know. So you can see this is towards the end of the week. High honors. I feel like this is more, as I mentioned, I thought maybe it was a work situation, and it can be. The family room. Here's another thing on a very basic level. There's something perhaps she wants to go shopping with you. She wants to spend some money on a room in her house. So that's a very specific situation. Um, and it could be that this is something that she's been talking about doing for a long time. And finally, it's happening this week. And it's like you're going to see it as, wow, this is really good. I like this. This is what really looks nice. And, it shows it's what you think you look at her and your ideas are going to be taken into and she's going to recognize that this is something that you can provide her with some good ideas if that's what it is, specifically looking at one room in your home or rooms in your home and improving them, whether it's your home or her home, but it looks like it's more hers because it's right next to her. And maybe she's been a long time wanting to do some improvements. Okay. She's going to value your opinion. There you go. It's as simple as that, right? Maybe this week that's something. You're going to go out into the community, go shopping. Right. That's a simple thing. But it brings some good energy with it. Okay. And it looks like just be bold, be confident in your approach. And you know what? Things will go well for you this week, my friends. I know that sounds like a very sort of humdrum reading, but it's not. It's a very good. It's companionable. If that's even a word. The energy feels nice. It feels comfortable. And you're going to feel like this is some person that you really hold in high esteem and you have for a long time. That's what I'm getting from these two cards, okay? So by the end of the week, it could even be that this could be, oh, you know what? Here I'm hearing this. It could be a situation that's far from where you are. So when I say far from where you are, maybe you're going to spend time with them, but they don't live that close to you. All right. Okay, my dears, let's move on to our next and final reading this week. And that is going to be about reward yourself. Okay, reward yourself. Be kind to yourself. Do something for you this week. All right, let's see here. Okay, my dear. So if you've chosen the reward yourself card, then this is your weekly reading this week for Kipper. Let's see what we have. Okay. First card jumped out. A message of concern. This is the beginning of the week. A journey. Okay. And occupation. A mature man. And lastly, concern. Okay. Whoops. Try to keep that straight. It's not very straight, is it? My goodness. Let's try this. Can't even do it right. There we go. Okay, I apologize. All right, so let's get started with the reading. So there's some type of message coming to you this week, pile three. Sometimes this indicates sad news, but in this case, I think it's more about work. And the reason I say that, the center card is occupation. There is a situation that is concerning to you. You're going to get a message of some kind. It can be a text, it can be an email, it can be a phone call, and it's concerning, obviously. And feel like it's about, for most of you, it's going to be having to make a trip to work. In other words, it's the trip to work that's causing the problem. That's the concern. It's going to affect you this week about maybe either your distance getting there or whatever the issue is around. It's about the actual um, journey situation to work. Okay, getting there, in other words, for some of you, it's not all. Some of you might actually have to not work from home this week and you have to actually go in. Some of you, it's just the experience of work. So, in other words, there's a concern here at the beginning or towards the beginning of the week that you hear about work. And it has to do with this man, this mature man. He could be the boss. Usually, mature man relates to somebody who's a decade older, a male that is very helpful to you, the workplace. But the situation could cause you some confusion or doubts in the end, I want to say. You're not sure what to do, okay, towards the end of the week. There could be an issue with him about your job as to um, how you're doing it, how things are going for you. I feel like it's a misunderstanding, is what I'm hearing. I feel like there's a misunderstanding between you and he about the work, about your job. Um, and I feel like for some of you, it's actually getting, as I said, getting to work. It's the actual getting there. You may have to travel a long distance, and literally, some of you may have to go by train or bus. But concern also is about being busy. Maybe you're overworked. You've got too much on your plate. You've got a lot that's keeping you occupied at the office, at the workplace, and it's causing you a lot of stress. Maybe you yourself have reached out to this mature man this week and said, I'm having trouble. I can't keep. This person is not, they're concerned about it, but they're not. I don't feel, now we don't know exactly because what's on the other side of this card as to how this person feels, but I feel like they have the confidence in you to do this. It's causing them confusion, like they're not sure why you're having problem. In other words, is what I'm hearing. It's like, no, I know you can do this. You can do this. Keep going. You're doing a good job, but it's not. I feel like it's providing you with too much of an issue. It's too stressful for you. And it's leading to these doubts you're having towards the end of the week. Maybe you're doubtful that you can even do this job, carry on with this type of situation this week. It's like I can't seem to get a handle on it. Now, the reward card speaks to you about keeping yourself by rewarding yourself in some fashion. It helps to make things easier going forward for you as far as, I move this over here. Yeah. when we reward ourselves with something, it allows us to feel good. It's like we're being given something to make us feel better. And this then is manifested like tenfold out into the world. In other words, it makes things easier to do the things we need to do that are stressful, right? So even it can be a small thing. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. Sometimes it's just buying yourself maybe cappuccino, something you really enjoy, dessert you love. Maybe it's buying yourself a little something, a little, I don't know. Maybe there's something you've seen in the store you wanted for a while. You wanted to order it online. That's about rewarding yourself financially if you have the money, but you can also reward yourself with other things, doing things you enjoy, right? Your time, your efforts. So this is what it speaks to this week for pile three. The beginning of the week does show difficulty. And you know what? There could even be concern here at the beginning of the week about even the mode of transportation you take to work. Maybe your car's acting up. Maybe you're late. Maybe things just aren't going well for you getting there. Okay. That's the problem. There's a concern here about getting there to work. Um, but it could just, on a very basic level, just about your actual time at work or experience of work. In other words, you're very busy, you have too much going on. I feel like there's just this too much work here. This mature man is somebody you would go to try to help you this week to sort things out. He has the wisdom. But I don't feel like he's providing you with what you need this week, at least towards the end of the week. He's not actually helping you in some way. He's not solving the problem, in other words. He normally maybe would, but for whatever reason, there's he's not. He's not being helpful. In fact, it's probably making things more confusing for you. Okay. So I feel like there's this essence around it of not resolving whatever is going on here towards the end of the week. It's like this problem is still going on. Okay. And you know what? You even have doubts about him being helpful. There's doubts around this guy. I feel like he's and I don't mean doubts about you. You have doubts about him, in other words, being helpful and giving you what you need, okay? And so there's a feeling of frustration this week in this reading. I feel like for you, there's this not getting the solution you need by the end of the week in whatever way, shape, or form this plays out. But this is definitely in relation to that for some people, very many. I feel this is work related and because of the occupation card. There's other people, it's more about the mature man could represent a father figure, a grandfather, could represent, an uncle or an older male friend who you really enjoy being with and is very loving and caring. But there's problems this week with this person. I don't feel that this is on the majority of you. I feel like this is the majority is a work situation, but they maybe even want you to come and visit them. Okay. Um, but they know, but this guy, or you want to go see them, but they're busy. I feel like there's a concern about that. Like you won't be able to go to see them because maybe they're busy this week. So you're not sure what's happening by the end of the week. So, on a very basic level, it's just a situation of being able to go and visit them or them visit you. It's not maybe not going to happen. It looks like towards the end of the week, it's just there's an uncertainty around it. All right. Okay, my friends, I hope you enjoyed pile three of the male energy. I hope you enjoyed your weekly reading. As I say, if something resonated, please feel free to leave me a comment. I'd love to hear how things are going in your life. And I wish you guys all the best. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you in my next reading. Bye for now.